Hell yeah, brother. You're on the Cleetus McFarland YouTube channel.
What's happening, guys? Here at the shop on the weekend. This is gonna be a solo video. It's been a while since I've done a video without the boys. As you can see, neighbor is still in the trailer from Ford Fest. I'm just here to get him unloaded. And then we're getting Ruby out. Gonna throw her on the dyno, do a couple pulls, see if we can get her boost control issue figured out. And that'd be a good start for FL2K, you know what I mean? When we were up at Houston, Ruby wouldn't even run an 8-second pass. So she has slowed down quite a bit. Today, I'm going to try and figure out why that is. Could be one of our vacuum lines for the boost controller. Could be the boost controller itself, the solenoid. Who freaking knows, but we're gonna figure it out. And then later this week, we'll have to work on Leroy. So we actually did get a taillight. A friend sent a taillight for him, so get this thing worked out later this week. All right, guys, the duct tape at first was funny, but I think I'm gonna clean it up. I do have a set of headlights for her too. I kind of want to make her a little nicer. Just kind of hurts me every day seeing her in this type of shape, you know? So it's actually not that ugly of a car. You know, she's a little beat, but it's still a beautiful red Corvette. Buffy in the trailer backed in over here. Gonna get neighbor unstrapped and just push him out the back. Hey, Ruby. Look at that, the cords don't get caught up in the wheel anymore. Can you believe it? Sounds like she's running on all 8 cylinders though. Everything sounds pretty good. Let's go open up the door, get on the dyno. All right, folks, I'm gonna give you a quick rundown on today's agenda. So we've got this little doohickey here from Holly Performance. This is their new boost controller solenoid setup. And this is going on the car before World Cup. Look at that thing. All sorts of freaking live action with that. This is going on the car before World Cup. And this will allow some very, very precise boost control to happen. The current boost control setup is running off of manifold pressure. So whatever pressure is in here goes to this MAC valve, and then this MAC valve goes to the top of the wastegate. That system works, but it's very laggy. It's not really responsive. Today, all we're doing is changing that source of air. So instead of it being the source from the intake, it's gonna be the source off of the CO2 bottle. Trying to keep it simple until we tear this thing down for World Cup and we have time to do wiring and stuff. So we're just switching it to a CO2 source rather than putting in Holly's new boost controller, which will be better in the long run. But when we have the car apart to put the new engine in before World Cup, we'll install that and make sure it works. Today, all I'm doing is switching this line over to that CO2 tank, throwing this thing on the dyno, making sure I can have a little bit more precision in the boost control before Florida 2K, which is next weekend. FL2K, Bradenton Motorsports Park. But I also went through all these lines just to make sure there's no boost leaks. And then I really wish I could have put our boost leak checker on it, but we have too big of a compressor housing for the boost leak checker that we have. So just gotta get it on the dyno and see if I can get it to make boost. It wasn't making boost in Houston, but I cannot find any leaks anywhere. I don't know, we just gotta get on the dyno and see where we're at. It might be fine. It might have just needed some more pressure on top of the wastegate. The old system really was kind of janky. So guys, I got all set on the dyno, ready to go. Even some of Jeremy's guys showed up here. I got so bored that I got all the adhesive off of the duct tape, and someone sent us a headlight restoration kit forever ago. I'm just gonna freaking do it because I'm bored. Freaking computer has been taking so long to update. I turn it on, of course it doesn't auto update on its own. It's been like 2 hours. What the hell, Dell? Come on. All right, either I did a bad job. I mean, I followed the directions exactly as I said. It's a little hazy. A lot better though. Now it kind of looks like it's winking. Actually, it's really not better at all. Damn, what a fail. Well, the computer's almost done, so I guess we'll just scrap that project and get to the tuning. All right, guys, computer is booted up. I'm gonna hop in the car. We're gonna do a pull right now on wastegate pressure, which is the minimum amount of boost Ruby can make. Let's see what she can put out. This will just give us a baseline, something to build off of. Let's get one clean pull and go from there. 842 horsepower. Yeah, we had, I think I saw 14 pounds on the wastegate. Not bad. 850 horsepower is the least amount of power Ruby can make. All right, guys, I'm gonna look over this data and we'll make another rip here in a minute. Alrighty, guys, you can see 842 horsepower. That's actually what the C7 makes, which is funny. The dyno says I'm off the chart rich. So this is a problem we've ran into before where the widebands on the cars say they're running like 11.5 to 1 for their fuel ratio. But our dyno always seems to say, no, you're way richer than that. So in the past, when Jeremy has told me to lean the cars out, they do pick up power. So I just leaned her out. We're not gonna go up and boost yet. We're gonna see if we can just pick up power by changing the fuel. If it picks up power, then I also might give it a degree of timing and see if we can gain something out of that as well. I'm gonna add some idle back to it. Not real happy on the startup. Oil pressure and everything is perfect though, so let's do this. Up about 12 horsepower. Not bad at all. So 854 on that one. You can see kind of the whole range was happier, just holding up there a little bit higher than previously, so I'm good with that. I'm happy with that. You can see in second gear the car does about 172 miles an hour at 7,000 RPM. That's a good goal. We have a good gear in the car. If we turn up the power, it should go 170-ish. It's gonna need the bigger motor though. So after that, we're gonna do one more 800 horsepower pull. Just I wanna kick it a degree of timing and see what it does. I think it's gonna like it, and then from there we can start playing with the boost control. All right, guys, third pull here. Just giving it a little bit of timing to see if it'll pick up. But pretty good so far. You guys can get the outside view on this one. Literally 3 horsepower less with a degree of timing. So tempted to just take it a whole degree and a half off of what it was, make sure we're in a nice safe zone. Didn't pick up power with the extra timing, but you can see our air fuel both land nice over that 11 to 1 mark, and on the computer it's really only at 11.8 to 1, so I think we're in a pretty good spot here. Alrighty folks, so we're gonna turn the CO2 on, which that means our boost controller now has some live action flowing through it. And if you're wondering if the boost controller will change off the bottle being empty or full, it might a little bit, but there is a regulator on it which helps with that. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Trans temp's good, everything seems good, so we're gonna do a rip. The boost controller is set to 20%. 20%, that's not much. I want to see if it even works at all before we get too carried away. Oh, here goes nothing. way. It made like way less power. That was like 10 pounds of boost. How's that possible that it made less power? What did I do? What the heck, dude? Yeah, I didn't think it could make less. It somehow created a vacuum in the top of the gate, apparently. So these three, 850, 850, 840, those are all boost controller off, and then I turn it on, and it's only supposed to be able to add to the boost, not take away. So I better go check out what I did wrong here. Okay, so guys, I've been trying to figure this out. It doesn't make any sense to me, but sometimes it's how car stuff is. I'm sure one of you can figure it out and explain it to me. But you got a bottle with almost 1,000 pounds of pressure in it. Go into a MAC valve. MAC valve takes pressure in. Pressure comes out here to the top of the wastegate. When that thing is on, it's chattering and letting air through to here. If the car is idling and I go turn the MAC valve on in the computer, you can hear a bunch of air just pulsing out of this, right? So I did that pull there, and somehow it created a vacuum, I guess, and lifted the wastegate up and allowed more air out of the gate, and we made less boost. I don't know how or what. Everything is set up as far as I know how it should be. I went through everything one more time. All I'm gonna do now is turn the settings up from 20% to 60% and see if it fixes it. I don't understand how that happened, how it went down in power by giving it dome pressure. Maybe it didn't give it dome pressure. Maybe it made it vacuum. Weirder things have happened. So let's do a rip here and see what happens. We are all the way down to 580 horsepower. What is going on? It made 8 pounds of boost. I clearly have something backwards here. All right, guys, so I have gone over my plumbing, my wiring, everything. I guess it is the MAC valve internally. I've never personally seen one of these MAC valves fail, but if you take the line that goes to the top of the gate and put your finger over it while the MAC valve is on, because I can turn it on at idle and say set at 50%, and it pulls a vacuum, and there's a bunch of air coming out the vent. I don't know how, why, but when it's off and the can is on, I mean, I got the pressure going to number 1, I've got number 2 going to the wastegate, vent in the middle. I got something wrong. So I have pulled a robbery and stolen Leroy's MAC valve. We're gonna see if swapping that out will fix our issue here. All right, guys, Leroy's MAC valve is in. Let's freaking do this. I believe it will work. We got this. Let's freaking do it. All right. I think this is gonna work. I freaking hope it works. Wheels rolling. Back to back right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn up the boost controller from 20%. That was 832 horsepower, guys. It made a little bit less boost. Let's put this on 60. Sometimes the boost controller really won't work until it's at kind of a higher duty cycle, so we're really jumping into it with this one. As long as it doesn't hit 30 pounds of boost, I'll stay in it. But the fact that it didn't take away boost tells me that it's working correctly. You know. The Mac valve. Oh, spicy 1,003 horsepower. Woohoo! Oh, what a freaking relief, man. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, I made some boost there, folks. I got 28 pounds in the data log. Woohoo! That's what I'm talking about. All right, 1,003 horsepower. We freaking fixed it. All it was a defective Mac valve that kept us from running 8-second passes for the Houston crowd. Dang it, man. All right, I want to do another poll, make sure it does the same exact thing, and I might just bump it up to 70%. We'll see how much it makes, and then I'll be content. Oh, at least it's not cutting it. It's only just kind of greasing it over. I forgot the guys just came and snagged the jack for a moment. Well, guys, we freaking did it. We got Ruby fixed. She's ready for FL2K. Heck yeah, man. I just rolled on the throttle too, like 1,026. It didn't make 30 pounds, but it trickled 29 for a split second. And this is on like 10 degrees of timing. There is not aggressive timing by any means on Ruby. So I'm really, really happy with how this has turned out. Holly, we did it. We did it, Holly. All right, guys, that's been a quick Saturday sesh with old Cleeter and Holly. She's been kind of napping though. Hasn't really been doing her golden tuning today. Just been chilling. Oh, I'm freaking pumped. So now I gotta take Ruby home. Gotta get Leroy ready. We got FL2K in 5 days. Toast leaves in 8. This is crazy, but we're doing it live. Thanks for watching Do It for Dale. We'll freaking see you later.